Now, I'm going to tell you something else. Today is Good Friday for the Christian world. It's an important religious day. Probably, maybe more important than Christmas in some ways. It's an important day in many ways. And I was going to take the day off last night. I was burned out at the end of the week, as you heard my voice yesterday. I told the guys to get a fill-in. And then at night, I had a vision. You can take it for what it's worth, or you can leave it for what it's worth. Since it's my show, I'll tell you what it was. I laid down to sleep, and I saw an image that looked like Jesus in a green robe. I know, oh, he's crazy now. Now he's one of those. No, I don't care what you say to me. I happen to live in a Christian world, so images like this prevail. They're dominant, but I've never seen it before. So I laid in bed and I saw this image of a Jesus-like figure in a green robe that was glowing. And I said to myself, Michael, you can shut this off or you can raise the contrast on the color. I raised the contrast on the color. I didn't have a conversation, but I knew I had to go on the radio today. That's all it was for me. That's all it was for me. So here I am on Good Friday, the Gospel of Savage. Also a day that Jewish people have celebrated more so yesterday than today, which is Purim. And of course, I kept saying yesterday that, well, I don't even want to repeat it because we had too many arguments over it. And I don't want to have it again. To me, I'm into survival. And if a religion doesn't give you survival, it gives you nothing. If a religion doesn't give you the ability to strengthen yourself spiritually so you can be stronger physically and defend yourself, then it's a worthless religion, in my opinion. If it teaches you to kiss the feet of immigrants, I have a picture that I cannot believe is actually circulating of the Pope kissing the feet of African Muslims 2 days after the Belgian bombing. I think the Pope is insane, personally. I think he's a deranged socialist fool. That's not only from the kissing the feet, which is disgusting as far as I'm concerned. It looks like a foot fetish to me. Maybe he shares that with Nancy Pelosi. I don't know where that comes from. Maybe it's from toxic wafers that were dispensed by some source from Italy.